Thanks for watching The Bottom Line. I'm your host, Susan Kennedy. Much of the work of the Montgomery County Council takes place behind the walls of 100 Maryland Avenue. But in this show, we step outside those walls and take a look at how their efforts affect you as county residents. Up first, good food, good company, and rewarding activity are the three most obvious benefits of community gardening, and it's taken off like wildfire here in Montgomery County. This trend started here when a constituent of Council President Valerie Irvin inquired about starting such a garden in Montgomery County. And the bottom line, 10 community gardens with more than 600 gardeners.
So here we go, Sligo Mill Overlook.
It's fair to say Ursula Sabia Suckanek knows a good sugar snap pea when she sees one.
These are sugar snap peas on the vine. But that is how perfect Mother Nature is. Look, she has them all packaged up. So cute.
Those are delicious.
Thank you, whoever's plot just donated that.
That's because she oversees the hundreds of garden plots in the community gardens that are sprouting up all over Montgomery County. And she's been doing so since the program blossomed.
In November of 2009, Council member Valerie Irvin requested through a formal letter to the Department of Parks to open up some unactively used parkland for a community garden program, specifically down county, where it's very dense. That letter then went to the chief of horticulture, and he was asked to start a community garden program. And interestingly enough, there was no funding for it. So we were asked to start a program from the ground up with absolutely no funding whatsoever.
At that point, she and other parks folks started looking around for available land until officials from the city of Takoma Park suggested what is now their first garden location, Sligo Mill Overlook. It's at these community gardens folks get to learn not only about growing healthy food.
Beet greens are phenomenal to eat. And here you can see the gorgeous broccoli, gorgeous onions here. And actually, that's what they look like when they open up. Isn't that pretty?
But making a contribution to their neighborhood.
We are organic. All 10 gardens are organic. We have so many children in the garden that I want the children to be safe while they're in here. You know, if they run through the garden and touch something, I want it to be, you know, at least a little bit less toxic or dangerous to them. If they choose to pick something and eat it off of someone's vine, I would like to have that safety for them whenever possible.
The demand for these gardens is so high that often there is 2 times the number of applications than plots.
The intention is that we have a huge, immediate neighborhood invested interest in the garden, so that the people who are gardening here are the people who live in the neighborhood. Hey, I'm Ursula.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Which plot's yours? It's the people who can walk and ride their bikes, keeping their green footprint down. It is the people who drive in and out of the neighborhoods and pass the garden every day that help to keep some of the oversight on the garden and to keep it clean and respectful and beautiful like the gardens are.
The plots cost just $50 per year, and that includes water and wood chips. The county's newest garden on King Street is one of the smaller community gardens. Located in the heart of Silver Spring, the garden has both experienced and novice caretakers.
And I'm brand new at this, so we'll see.
Many of whom have met some of their neighbors for the very first time.
I mean, here's a whole nother family getting ready to unload.
We're sort of starting to get to know other people. More than half the gardeners come from right around here, and they're of great varying degrees of experience, and they're all really willing to share.
I'm rubbing shoulders with her, and then there was a master gardener over there.
Gordon?
And yes, exactly. And then and then Anne, who's just like me, you know, kids grown, just obsessed with gardening and raising things from seed. And so I've gotten to know her really well. We've all become friends on Facebook. So I just love the whole community piece.
It kind of gives a good sense of community here.
It is, and that's the community in community gardens. That is the whole point behind this program, is not just to make the land available and let people be able to grow their own crops, but also to develop that sense of community in really tight, dense areas like downtown Takoma Park or Silver Spring or any of the down county sites.
The county has definitely been bit by the community garden bug.
I'm obsessed by it. I sleep, drink, eat gardening.
With growing interest in both eating and going green, Ursula says the possibilities for growth are endless. And this firestorm started with one resident who planted the idea with Valerie Irvin.
In community gardens, we call Val the mother of community gardens. Valerie has been instrumental from encouraging us to start the program, to offering her support, being at the meetings, making petition on our behalf with the county council, coming to Coma Park, coming to each of the gardens. She's been at several of the openings. She comes and speaks at some of the events that we have. Valerie has just been integral in making everyone aware and available of this amazing opportunity in Montgomery County, as well as helping us get more locations.
If you want more information about community gardens, visit montgomeryparks.org. The U.S. Open is seen as an economic boon for the communities in which it takes place. Last month, county officials launched a marketing campaign designed for visitors to explore the county using a discount card. The card is good at many local restaurants and hotels. The bottom line, the golf tournament could bring as much as $150 million in revenue into Montgomery County businesses. The U.S. Open dates back to 1895, and throughout its history, the tournament has afforded fans hundreds of memorable moments. This year, the tournament took place right here in Montgomery County at Congressional Country Club. The winner took home a $1 million prize, but the real green of this event goes to Montgomery County.
It's really been a fabulous partnership between the USGA and the county. They have promoted county hotels and restaurants as they come in. In fact, the 10,000 hotel rooms that we have in the county are all booked for the entire week, and that's really amazing.
And to make Montgomery businesses even more attractive to out-of-towners, the county launched a promotional program that offered discounts designed to encourage visitors and local residents to dine, shop, and stay in the county via a targeted discount card program.
This is one of the good news stories. This is a story of people coming to Montgomery County because we have something special, and our community economically will benefit to an extraordinary degree.
About 250,000 spectators packed Congressional over the week-long event. Folks got a close-up look at some of the world's most famous golfers, including Phil Mickelson. Fans not only spent millions of dollars on hotels, restaurants, and other establishments, but the $14 million in souvenir sales would mean at least $1 million in sales tax for the county.
The benefits are considerable. It's not just at the tournament, it's what people do after the tournament. They're going out to our restaurants, our shops, our malls, so the economic benefit is tremendous.
Jim Shepard made his plans to come to the Open 9 months ago. He made the trip from Ohio, and so far, he says, everything has been well above par.
It's beautiful. Everyone's so nice, and the hospitality's great, and just really enjoying ourselves so far. We played one round of golf yesterday afternoon at Needwood Golf Club, and then we're playing tomorrow morning at Blue Mash, and then coming out here. So we're making a vacation of it, the whole thing.
Local businesses we visited saw a boost in sales a day or so before the Open officially began. Edwin Charles manages the burger joint in Bethesda. He was hoping his bottom line from the tournament would be an extra $10,000 in sales.
I actually order extra meat, extra fries, extra ice cream, because we know that it's really hot out here, so people can order a lot of shakes, so we actually will prepare for it.
And you think you'll sell it all?
Oh, we're going through all of it.
And with every available hotel room in the county booked, there was no reason for managers like Susan Randolph not to smile.
Well, it's just great for business. The hotel's booked all week long. We've had several groups come in from out of town, and it's just really great business for Montgomery County.
Aside from the immediate benefits, county officials are hoping to make far more from the U.S. Open in the long term.
The most important thing, it's an opportunity for us to showcase the county to the country and to the world. It's going to be a very positive impact for the county over the next, this week and over the next several months as businesses and individuals decide, is this somewhere where we want to be? And I think they'll say yes.
It almost seems hard to believe that once smoking was allowed in most restaurants, office buildings, and other public places. Back in 2003, Montgomery County was one of the first jurisdictions in the nation to ban smoking in restaurants and bars. The bottom line here, a statewide ban that was enacted in 2007. Councilmember Phil Andrews has been at the front of this issue since he was elected back in 1998. It was dubbed as a measure that would protect the health of restaurant workers and customers by prohibiting smoking in county eating and drinking establishments. It's this step taken at the local level that's branded Councilmember Phil Andrews.
It's a law that's accomplished what it set out to do, which was to protect workers and diners from hazardous secondhand smoke. The fact is the restaurant industry continued to do well in the county. The difference was that restaurants were now safe.
But it wasn't an easy road. The bill was first approved back in 1999, only to be vetoed by then County Executive Doug Duncan. When it made it back to the council for a vote in 2003, restaurants like Clyde's and Chevy Chase argued the ban would threaten their livelihood.
Did it hurt business here then when that law actually went into effect and there was no smoking allowed here at Clyde's?
Yeah, it had a very negative effect on our bar business. One fell swoop, everybody went away to where they could still smoke.
However, since the ban's enactment, restaurant receipts across the county have risen steadily, and we found the lunch crowd at Clyde's were happy to be dining smoke-free.
Are you glad when you come to a restaurant, though, that there's no smoke around? Are you happy now that you can come into a smoke-free environment, not just Clyde's, but anywhere else?
I guess overall, yeah. I guess probably one of the worst things is just having smoke blowing in your face while you're eating.
And what do you think about banning the smoking in the restaurants? What has that meant to you?
Well, it means that everyone can enjoy eating dinner, not having this smell that overcomes you, and also not having it on your clothes or in your hair.
I think it's a great law.
Why?
Just because I think it's bothersome to people who don't want to be surrounded by smoke or smell that. I don't like having it in my hotel room. I don't like having it in my restaurants. People want to smoke. I think it should be done in, public spaces outdoors where we don't have to all be inflicted by it.
If you've been a smoker, when you smell smoke, it's even worse if you were never a smoker. If you get smoke in your face, it's like as if you're about to smoke again, so it's really disgusting.
Tony Moyna has been the general manager at Clyde's for 10 years. He remembers all too well the tension surrounding the potential ban, but reluctantly acknowledges today his business is not affected by the fact patrons cannot smoke.
Well, there's other things like recessions and so forth that, sort of affect business, but whatever our business pattern is now, I don't think smoking has any bearing on it or anyone else's, because there isn't anywhere where it's allowed, so everyone's sort of in the same state of affairs.
Phil Andrews maintains the best argument for the ban is that secondhand smoke violates the rights of non-smokers and restaurant employees. It's that perspective that created a domino effect to prohibit smoking across the state of Maryland.
It's pretty clear that the other jurisdictions weren't going to go forward until someone else did. And Montgomery County worked on it for several years, and it was a big fight, and it was a lot of work. And in 2003, I sponsored the measure, and it was passed by an 8-to-1 vote.
And as an employee, Tony Moyna says a smoke-free working environment is where he wants to be.
Are you happier to go into a restaurant today knowing that it's a smoke-free environment? Does that weigh into anything that you think about when you're eating a meal?
Yeah, I prefer not to be in a smoking environment. Wherever it is, you might be able to find one these days, but yeah, it's nice.
It's affected a lot of people. It affected thousands of restaurant workers who have served worked in restaurants over the past, and bars over the last 7 years, and certainly everyone eats out from time to time. So it's probably had the most impact of the measures I've worked on, and I believe it's contributed significantly to the health of restaurant workers as well as to patrons. It's something that Montgomery County was able to lead the way on, and that once we did and people saw how well the law worked, that it didn't hurt business, and that it accomplished its purpose of protecting the public's health. And now if someone proposed repealing the smoke-free restaurant law, I'm sure there'd be people lined up around the block to say, no, this is great, keep it.
Well, that wraps up this edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.